make a narrative as if like I'm scared of. I think Devin's a tremendous fighter. Do I think Devin Haney can beat me? Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah.
For me personally, I'm on a different level than everybody.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to boxing, because Devin, he's a boxer.
It's on him. You know what I mean? It's on him. He knows that he's going to get this fade sooner or later. So it's only a matter of time. Obviously, we can't go down. You know, we can't go down to 135. So, you know, he would have to come up. And, you know, he can get this work anytime. He ready.
I see greatness, man. I see greatness. Shakur practically beat him with one hand, man. That jab, man. Most important hand you have, man. You know? And he looked good doing it, sharp. You know what I mean? Distance. He did everything, man.
Shakur Stevenson is reportedly set to face Devin Haney at 140 pounds. He's willing to accept rehydration conditions and remains completely confident that his skill set is superior to anyone put in front of him.
So all of these guys, if y'all want me to come to 147, I'm coming in with rehydration clauses. I don't even do that.
Yeah.
But why am I going up to these guys' weight classes if I'm not planning on going?
Shakur Stevenson says he isn't afraid of Devin Haney at all. But he believes Devin's team could try to flip the narrative and claim Shakur is avoiding the fight.
Shakur's still at 135. You can't, you know, say your name without saying Shakur to your female tank, right? It just is what it is. Is that fight going to ever happen? Would it ever happen against you and Shakur?
100%, yeah. I think so. I think
you think Shakur will grow into whatever weight you're in?
I mean, all of us is close to the same size. You know, we're all growing together. We're all like, you know, getting bigger. Well, so, and it's only so many guys, like y'all said, it's only so many guys that we could make big money and people want to see the fights, which even though I know that they making new guys, it's guys like Kermel, Abdullah, all these guys want to come up too. So eventually they gonna be there too. But, yeah, no, I think that a fight with Shakur is very much possible. We try to make it happen.
According to Shakur, he's operating on a different level. He doesn't believe there's a fighter who can truly beat him, and he's confident Devin Haney doesn't have the power to knock him out.
It's Devin Haney.
Okay.
Devin Haney's probably, to me, I don't think it's hit its point yet, but I think in the next year or two, it'll hit a point where it's like the world is going to demand. You know what I'm saying? I can see the trajectory feels like it could meet like that.
I would love this fight. But look, you got to watch what you say with like, and this is not even Devin fault because Devin is very respectful of my game and I'm respectful of his game. He's a good fighter. But his fans will clip and twist and turn things into something that is not. So I try to be real careful on what I say.
True. This is guy Jay on Twitter. He a big Haney fan. He be always clipping and changing stuff, Jay.
Yeah, they gonna make a narrative as if like I'm scared of. I think Devin's a tremendous fighter. Do I think Devin Haney can beat me? Hell no.
Devin Haney, meanwhile, is motivated to prove himself. He wants the biggest challenges available, including a fight with Shakur Stevenson, to solidify his place among the elite and define his legacy.
Like he's a fucking stone cold killer who's just gonna go in there and try to knock me the fuck out.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to outbox me. I'm the greatest boxer. How do you... So that's how I feel about the fight.
Yeah.
But it all gotta make sense from a business standpoint. I don't like getting up here and negotiating against myself. And,
for sure.
But for me, I'm willing
to
make the fight. But
do you see it as it being that could, you know, like we always said, the Four Kings, even though you wasn't a part of it, the whole plot is like at the end of the road, there's gonna be two guys left standing, and that's the big fight. Do you see that as that's potentially what that could be?
I'm a bad motherfucker.
Bill Haney makes it clear they aren't coming back down in weight. Anyone who wants to fight will have to move up to 140 pounds.
Those fights are not possible. Would you be more inclined just to move up to 140?
Yeah, you know, if I can't get those fights next or it doesn't make sense for it to be next, I'll probably go to 140, test it out, see how I feel at the weight. at 140, and then when the time is right, then I'll defend my belt at 135. We'll just see though. I got to go back and talk with the team and see what makes the most sense. That's really all.
He adds that the fight can happen anytime the challenger is ready to step up.
He didn't become undisputed yet. They didn't mention the franchise belt, which directly impacted Devin's career early on, right? And it seemed like, I was saying this on my live earlier, you tell me what you think about this, but it seems to me like there's a lot of people that have tried to block y'all ambition, right? Between you signed to the wrong company, Loma not taking the Devin fight, Tio not taking the Devin fight, Rolly saying he just don't want to fight Devin. Do you see that? Like, how do you see that? As far as like, people know you're ambitious, they know you want to be unified, they know you want to be undisputed, so they put all these obstacles up and they make it hard for you to achieve what you're trying to achieve.
Absolutely. I think it's been historic in the way that they...
Tim Bradley believes Shakur Stevenson has the potential to surpass even Terrence Crawford in boxing history. Crawford is firmly on boxing's Mount Rushmore, a 5-division champion whose accomplishments are undeniable. But Bradley sees similarities between Shakur and Crawford, especially in talent, discipline, and ring IQ. He explains that this isn't about matching Crawford's undisputed titles or moving through multiple weight classes. It's about opportunity. Bradley points out that boxing politics limited some of Crawford's biggest fights early on. If figures like Turkey Alashik had been involved during Crawford's rise, fights with names like Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, and Udenis Ugas could have happened sooner, elevating Crawford's profile even more.
So we must keep our composure and our patience and understand that it's part of the process when you're that good. You know what I mean? We can't say it any other way. They're running out of narratives. You know what I'm saying? And, it's what the people want to see. We don't never say, okay, this guy has done something wrong or he did bad business. So, we'll never do it. Obviously, when we go through negotiations and we spend time in there, whether it's put something together for Richard Hitchinson, for him to come back later and to say, I want that fight. Well, when we were trying to make the fight, we couldn't. You didn't want to negotiate. You went somewhere else. When we were negotiating with Shakur Stevenson, instead of him negotiating with us, he said that he's going to go.
With that in mind, Shakur is entering an era where elite fighters across 130 to 140 pounds are more accessible. That opens the door for consistent high-level matchups. Names like Devin Haney, Lamont Roach, Oshaquan Foster, Gary Russell Jr., Dalton Smith, Brian Garcia, and others are all potential opponents. Bradley emphasizes that Shakur not only has the skill to compete with these fighters, but the ability to beat them, building a resume that could make him even more influential than Crawford in the long run.
But I feel like Shakur, just like Crawford was with me, Shakur has the ability to pass Terrence Crawford. Listen up. Now, not in the sense of becoming 3-time undisputed and, going up to, that many weight classes. Not from that standpoint. He already has 4 weight classes. Crawford is a 5-weight division champion. But in a sense of having the opportunities that Crawford didn't have. Crawford would have been even bigger than what he is if the politics didn't play into the sport at the time. And now that, you have guys like Turkey Alashik that are able to bridge that gap between promoters and, make these big fights.
There are still major obstacles, but when you watch these fighters compete, it's clear that outside of controversy, they rarely lose. That's why the back and forth between Shakur and Devin immediately caught attention. This exchange reflects the tension between elite competitors at the top of the sport. At one point, fans were talking about a For Kings 2.0 featuring Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, and Gervonta Davis, drawing comparisons to the legendary era of Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Roberto Duran.
Turkey was around when Crawford was on his climb. When Crawford couldn't get those big fights with like Thurman and Danny Garcia and Ugas, and, he got it later with Sean Porter, but it was later. But imagine if Crawford was able to have that run And, you know, Earl Spence, Danny Garcia, Ugas, Keith Thurman, you know, the list goes on. If he would have had all those guys on his ledger, imagine how big Crawford would be. He would be even bigger than what he is today. You know, bigger than what he is today. So with that being said, you know, with these fighters hovering around 135, these talented fighters, hovering around 135, 130, you know, guys like, you know, Oshaki Foster, like I mentioned, going to go up to 135. He's big enough to go to 135.
Interestingly, Wilfred Benitez, often overlooked from that era, actually defeated Roberto Duran. Duran only beat Sugar Ray Leonard once, was stopped by Hearns, dominated by Hagler, and lost to Benitez. Yet Benitez is rarely mentioned among the greats. Similarly, fighters like Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, and Teofimo Lopez often overshadowed Shakur Stevenson. That's changed. After dominating Teofimo Lopez, Shakur has forced his way into the spotlight. At the same time, Tank Davis's legal issues and hesitation to take certain fights are reshaping the modern boxing landscape.
Devin Haney going to concede to that? I doubt it. So there's a major obstacle in the way. But nonetheless, as you watch these two fighters fight, you can clearly see, outside of cheating, they're more than likely not going to lose. Right? With that said, Devin Haney immediately responds to Shakur. Shakur responds to Devin. Right? Again, we had the initial four kings. It was Devin, Ryan, Tio, and Tank Davis. Right? It was supposed to be the four kings 2.0 from the Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran.
Bernie the Boxer reacted to the potential Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney matchup by breaking down both fighters' accomplishments. Shakur is now a 4-division world champion, a 2-time lineal champion, and a 2-time Ring Magazine title holder. He's also a 2-time unified champion at 130 pounds, having defeated elite opponents like Teofimo Lopez, a fighter known for rising to big moments.
We had that four-king era, but nobody mentions Wilfred Benitez. And the fact remains is Wilfred Benitez beat Roberto Duran as well. And Roberto Duran is 1-4 against those guys. He beat Sugar Ray Leonard the first time. Outside of that, Roberto Duran, he lost. He quit against Sugar Ray Leonard. He got knocked out brutally by Tommy Hearns. He got outboxed by Marvin Hagler and outclassed by Wilfred Benitez. Right? But he's overshadowing Wilfred Benitez. And I felt like these guys, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Tank, and Tio, overshadowed Shakur Stevenson. And now Shakur Stevenson has shined a light by dominating Teofimo Lopez.
Devin Haney, on the other hand, is a 3-division world champion and a former undisputed champion. Bernie emphasizes that if Shakur truly wants Devin, he should take the fight without hesitation. Beating Devin Haney in his prime would remove all excuses and earn Shakur full credit for a historic win. According to Bernie, both fighters are elite, but defeating Devin at his best would further cement Shakur Stevenson as one of the defining fighters of his generation.
After the fight, Conor Ben comes into the ring. They talk, have some words, but Shakur Stevenson said, I want to put that same rehydration clause you put on Chris Eubank. Tell me, what did you get out of that moment in the ring?
Well, I heard on the press conference where I think it was his manager said that, that was a clown move, but I think Shakur invited that, I don't even know if I would have said all that about Conor being right then, but I think he really wants that fight. He really wants the money for the fight. He been saying that. And now he came through victorious. I think he really wants that money for that fight. He wants the money for.
Shakur Stevenson's dominant performance against Teofimo Lopez drew heavy praise, with Boozy Ennis pointing out just how impressive it was, especially considering Shakur was essentially fighting with one hand. His jab, the most important punch in boxing, was sharp, consistent, and perfectly controlled distance. Every movement was calculated. Lopez, despite his athleticism and experience, looked outclassed. Critics who questioned Shakur's resume had no answers after that performance. Technically, Shakur was flawless. Lopez struggled because he was facing Shakur Stevenson.
Legacy fights, accomplishments, because now Shakur is a 4-weight world champion. Devin is a 3-weight world champion. Devin was undisputed, but now Shakur is a 2-time lineal champion. So he's a 2-time Ring Magazine winner. 2-time unified champion. If you want to add the ring, as far as with the WBO, he was unified at 130. So he's a 2-time unified champion, 2-time lineal champion. Beat a guy like Teofimo Lopez, who rises to the occasion. Had a close fight with George Kambosos. You can make a claim that he was fighting out of frustration or out of emotion. And that was it. He was in his prime too. Josh Taylor seemed to be drained at 140. Not taken away from Devin, but he was already moving up to 47, they were saying. Lomachenko was a little older and small.
Even with an injured left hand, Shakur stayed in full control of the fight. He relied heavily on his jab, using his left sparingly when needed. Boozy emphasized that Shakur could have gone for a stoppage if necessary, but instead chose to manage the fight intelligently. The performance showcased not just skill, but composure and ring IQ. Fans in Philadelphia and beyond witnessed a true masterclass. Shakur proved that greatness doesn't depend on perfect conditions. It depends on focus, discipline, and elite-level skill.
But I see greatness, man. I see greatness. Shakur practically beat him with one hand, man. That jab, man. Most important hand you have, man. And he looked good doing it, sharp. You know what I mean? Distance. He did everything, man. He did everything right, man.
A lot of people thought it would be a tough fight because Teo's athletic, Teo's experienced, he's fought on a high level. Mm-hmm. And, they were critical of Shakur. Right. He ain't fought nobody, this and that. Yeah. He made Teo look like everybody else.
Made him look like an amateur. Yes.
Now, technically, what did you see? Right? Where did Teo go wrong in that fight?
Where he went wrong?
Yeah.
Fighting Shakur. That's where he went wrong. Fighting Shakur. I knew he just running his mouth. He just was talking, man. I knew that from the beginning, even the time when he...
A fight between Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney is one fans are desperate to see. Both fighters bring elite skill, speed, and competitiveness, making every second in the ring meaningful. Analysts and fans continue breaking down the matchup, debating who has the edge. Shakur's technical precision versus Devin's speed, defense, and discipline creates a clash with massive stakes. This is a kind of fight that could define careers and leave a lasting mark on boxing history.
Yeah. Shakur knows he could have got stopped at Shakur, but Shakur hurt his left hand. His left hand was hurt. If you notice, he was using that jab a lot.
Yeah, jab and then the hook.
And he threw that left hand every now and then. Because I was screaming out. Everybody said they heard me in Philly.
Yo, we could hear you on the TV.
Yeah. That's my young buck. You know what I mean? And I was telling him to throw that straight left hand. Then I noticed when he did throw it, he wasn't throwing it real hard. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But he looked spectacular, man. You can't ask for nothing more, man. And with me, I don't care about what people say, man. They always want to talk about you and say, oh, he should have did this, should have did that. He did everything that he was supposed to do, and he did it right.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.